Welcome to the Silhouettes of Success podcast with your host, successful entrepreneur, broker, and business mentor, Amber Weitzer. Because success comes in all shapes, sizes, and styles, the Silhouettes of Success podcast is shining the light on industrious women with a collection of curated conversations of intentional inspiration designed to inspire your heart, ignite your mind, feed your soul, and gift you with actionable insights directly from inspirational, everyday women who've shown tenacity, grit, and grace, having taken on the challenges in their lives and business and won. Remarkable, down-to-earth, and relatable, Amber and her guests will share with you uplifting and extraordinary real-life success stories, motivational ideas that just might help spark something within you. With the deepest desire to serve you, help you grow so you can begin to shine the light that will illuminate your very own silhouette of success. So, let's get to it.
Well, hello. Thank you for joining me tonight, today, this morning, whatever time of day it is for you. For me, the sun's gone down, and this is when I enjoy doing these solo podcast recordings with you. And honestly, cue the confetti, 25 episodes, and that's pretty impressive for launching Thanksgiving week and planning this through pre-COVID and through COVID and learning all the ins and outs and working out the kinks. But I have to say that hats off to all of our phenomenal VIP featured guests, Silhouette of Success stories. And without all of their support and your support, we wouldn't be here. And so we are pressing on and we are going strong, and we're going to continue evaluating some great things and just getting ready to bring you more of those Silhouette of Success stories from everyday women who are succeeding at all aspects in life. And sharing those hiccups and bumps and bruises with us so we can all learn together. So tonight, I am bringing you a fun story, and one of my favorite words seems to be popping up over and over in my life. And so I'm going to share with you the word and then a fun story surrounding that seems to be pulling in many of the elements that we are hearing and exploring with our Silhouette of Success podcast guests. So the word that I'm going to share with you, in one of my favorite words again, is serendipity. So don't you like the way that sounds? And I know it was a movie, but serendipity, Merriam-Webster defines it as a phenomenon of finding valuable or agreeable things not sought after, or an instant awe. So, what does that mean? What does that do for you when you hear the word serendipity? To me, it's a whimsical, promising word, and it evokes maybe some shimmery fairy dust sprinkles overhead whenever it comes to my mind. To me, it's a very exciting and magical word, and it's going to bring great things whenever I hear that word. So, what do you see when you think about it? Quick story. So again, reflecting back over our Silhouette success stories and the different episodes that we've been able to share together over my very own Silhouette of Success journey, which is continuing, there have been many of these moments and that fit that definition to a T. And I'd have to say that since launching this podcast, the serendipitous encounters seem to be more frequent. So why is that? Could it be that I'm more aware, more present, perhaps, in more conversations that introduce me to underlying threads of connectivity, leading to discovery of those aha moments that we hear so much about? Well, it's fascinating either way, and it has definitely heightened my sense of awareness to the opportunity and enjoying exploring those things even deeper. So my fun story is recently I was invited to visit and tour one of the most treasured magical storybook-esque signature properties, not only in our area, but I dare to say in the nation. In my professional life, I have been a part of some extraordinary opportunities, custom build homes. I've toured the creme de la creme of properties in prestigious zip codes, elite gated home properties and communities. And yes, pop the cork. I have toasted champagne on the top of the most exclusive desired rooftops in New York City. And so, yes, the skylines are as breathtaking as they are, just like in the movies. But I would have to put this visit and this property up against any of them. So, why is that? Well, let's talk about it. And I love stories. I love, so as Truvy, Dolly Parton's character in Steel Magnolias would say, and I think there's a story there. And yes, there is. And so here's my fun story. Couple of months ago, I met, and I say that, I need to back up a little bit. I actually met this amazing person years ago, and probably one or two occasions, and have watched the growth of what she's been doing, her and her team, over the many years, and but from a distance. And I've participated once or twice in their events or functions or different great things that they do. But I was able to really connect with her on a more personal level. And she's quickly become a sincere favorite and hopefully a new friend, not just acquaintance, but a good friend. So she and I seem to fire on some of the same cylinders when it comes to connections and community and inspiration. And we just seem to be trading sparks that keep igniting awesomeness. So there you go. But we were talking and I was brainstorming a project that I have recently taken on, a very important, inspirational project. And I wanted to, of course, get her trusted advice on perhaps positioning this project in the best respectable light that it will deserve. In us having this conversation and brainstorm, she asked me if I had heard about or knew of this person in this house. And I thought, well, yes, it was ringing a bell, but no. Anyways, so fast forward, I get a text from her, and she has not only allowed me to maybe see a book that would help me put some visual light on a project that I'm working on how something was done for her friend, but she's invited me to tour this amazing property. And oh, yeah, okay, excellent. So there we are. I am not one that is easily impressed. I'm not dazzled with celebrities or fame or famous names or people. I just don't get goofy about that because I think we're all pretty VIP-ish in our own way. And to me, it's more of everyday people that are highly impressive. To me, those are the heroes. And anyway, that's another podcast. But this upcoming visit had me absolutely giddy. The whole butterfly in the tummy, and the nervous anxiety little knots. Nothing major. Again, I mean, I'm in the profession of visiting awesome properties, but there was something about this, and so I'm a researcher. I'm a recently identified analytical from my coach, Coach Julie, which I think I'm still in denial about that, but that's, again, another topic there. But I'm at my best when I have prepared and done research and, just on my A game. And again, that's a learned skill. So don't go looking for my high school report card. But I have developed that over time, and I have found that that's when I perform my best. So I cannot tell you why, looking back. I don't have an explanation, but I didn't do any research on the property or the history of the property before our meeting and our visit. So typical, I am 15 minutes early. So this time I was 30 minutes early. And I'm parked down the side of the road, down the street a little bit, not looking creepy at all. But I thought, you know what? This is a good time. Let's pull up a little bit of research, at least, and a phone call came in, and it was an important call and I knew I would be out of pocket for a couple of hours. And so I took the call. So again, no research. So I'm going in unarmed. I was able to glean no information before going into the meeting. So it was time for the meeting or for the visit. And so I turned into the driveway and I'm driving up this graceful drive. There's a pond on either side, pond to the left, a pond to the right. There's ducks. They're out there doing their duck thing. And, it's playful. I kid you not, the sunlight was just dancing over the water. And so it's giving you those, the glistens and the diamond sparkles. And as I'm taking it all in, driving very slowly and embracing this experience, I'm pulling up and winding around. There was a beautiful fountain, terracotta and red brick, drive and this soft little roundabout. And I look over as I'm pulling to put the car in park, and there are swans, y'all. There are majestic, beautiful white swans. Okay, done right there. So the lady of the house comes out to greet me, and again, continuing to just intensify this amazing experience. She's absolutely lovely. She just comes out with this warm smile and instantly put my butterflies at ease. We were talking about the swans, and I just know right off that this is going to be a memorable visit. So our mutual friend arrives, and we go inside, and walking just up the sidewalk into the home, my eyes were just, if I could absorb it all and just play that over and over again, it was just heavenly. There was so much to take in, but we're walking and we're talking and getting to know each other as we're, entering the home. And if I could express the enormity of this home's spectacularly intricate details in this podcast, it would take months of recording. If I could help maybe articulate and describe just the beautiful visuals of the architectural detail and everything that they were sharing with me as we're walking in. It's a true labor of love in the manner in which they dismantled every brick and stone and rock of the original property. And it was relocated, parts of it, and reassembled. Just so much. And I'm going to have to tell you right now that I honestly have no idea of 99.9% of the details of this home, because we started enjoying each other's company so much and finding out about each other that I'll have to go back for a tour of the property, a long, detailed tour, and I hope she'll have me back. But moving forward and talking more about why serendipity was important for me to share with you is we just decided, we sat down and we were just visiting and getting to know each other even more in depth. Her husband popped in, and, looking at him, he was as equally kind and just warm. And I think it really took me by surprise that they would be so just welcoming. It was great. It was like sitting with friends. And I hope that's respectable to say if they listen to this, but they just made you feel so comfortable in this fabulous, picturesque storybook fairy tale home with details that just are jaw-dropping to hear, just bits and pieces about what they've done, where different components came from, it's just amazing. So, plot twist, and this is where the orchestra would be building up the music to heighten the climatic reveal. So we're walking around and touring some of the homes, pausing to discuss details, little fun nooks, and we're talking about books and authors. artists and local artists and just different contacts that maybe we have mutually, historical facts, and just revel in the beauty of the home, what they've done to the home, and their journey over the years. And there was a lot of laughter. So I love this stuff. We're talking architecture, we're sharing stories, we're talking just design elements and phenomenal women and role models and inspiration about community and maybe, different community events and dinner parties and all these great things. So we walk outside and she introduces us to a couple of her beautifully fun animals on the property, and we're talking, and we go into a different part of the property. And as we're sitting there, standing there talking, I realize, I better look at my phone because I know there's school pickup, and I think we've been visiting for a little bit, and sure enough, we had. And I panicked because I knew that I was probably going to be late for school pickup. But this was probably one of the most important parts of the story, serendipity. So we're discussing a certain topic, and, again, play connect the dots. One topic leads to the next and sparks this and sparks that. And all of a sudden, she said something, and I froze in astonishment. And remember, this is real life. And so there's no recordings, there's no take twos. We're all three standing, and I'm standing there looking at her, and I know my face just froze. And in my head, I'm repeating the first name, her husband's name, the first name, the last name, the first name. And it could have been like an acorn to the head thump, because I was putting slowly in slow motion in my head. And again, we're standing there, so it's a bit maybe awkward looking at putting two and two together. Igniting conversation. One thing led to another. And then all of a sudden, I look at her, and then we both look at each other, and she looked at me and I looked at her, and I'm looking at our mutual friend, and we're just and they're probably thinking, what is wrong with me? But what I began to realize is not only did not only did we know some of the same people, some of our most favorite people in our world, but we had been in the same place at the same time a couple of months ago. And we exchanged nods and smiles under our masks, because you can tell smiley eyes. And we didn't know each other then. And I just really met her and her husband today. But I could see them in my mind's eye from the memory. And I asked her, were you seated here, here, here? And described it. And, if I could have fallen over, I would have, but that would have been very embarrassing. And so now keep in mind, when we saw each other, it was during COVID, during the pandemic. And by the way, is that still going on? I'm just kidding. It's not funny, but is it still going on? So, but we were in a local unsuspecting suburb, and it was in a small, treasured, special location for all of us. But it was a pretty low-key, exclusive, private preview style event. So what are the odds? Serendipitous, isn't it? We were in the same place at the same time, had not officially, because you really didn't go around, really meeting a bunch of folks. You wanted to be very respectful and keep your distance, and all of those good things. And there you go. So how crazy is that we come full circle in this life? So my message would be, in all of the things that we've been talking about through our podcast with our guests, we've heard the suggestions and the advice and the intentional inspiration from our guests that to be present, to be in full gratitude, to go through all the doors, and to explore and embrace opportunities. Disclaimer, healthy, legal, of course, all those good things, but participate in life, be courageous, go through the door. In fact, you have to go through those doors, and maybe they don't open, maybe they do, but if you don't try, and if it's cracked, you just go in anyways. I've done it. If the door is cracked open, do not turn back, go for it. Remember those that you meet, they cross your path for a reason in this life, and we might not know at the time. It might be to teach you something positive. It might be to teach you a lesson. Doesn't mean they're going to be around forever, but are you paying attention? Are we watching those lessons? Are we learning from those exchanges and interactions? Treasure those around you. Treasure those that support you and warm your heart. You're going to know that connection immediately. Hang on tight to those folks, because treasure is just a good word for me. So once I started paying attention, closer attention, once I truly, really started paying attention to the signals, I've always been somebody that's in tune with the situation. I'm hyper observant. I can read the room. I think I can say that confidently that I have that talent. And that's just a natural talent of mine. But have I paid attention as closely as I have recently? Probably not. But I'll tell you, serendipity is alive and out there, and those magical experiences seem to find their way into our lives more and more. So I would say to you, be open, be approachable, be inviting, smiling. Now we're taking our masks off more and more. So bring the smile back, right? Get the smile back on. Be a volunteer, be of service to somebody, and just embrace this beautiful life, embrace these amazing people that come into our lives. And I hope you have your own serendipitous encounters.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of the Silhouettes of Success podcast. If you enjoyed the show, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out, and join us for all the new episodes. We are here for you and with you. We encourage you to share this podcast on all your socials and pass on the light to help illuminate another silhouette of success. Amber would love to hear from you, and you can find her on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, or head over to amberweitzer.com. Let's connect. Help us all shine and leave us a review too. To find out the latest ways to inspire your heart, ignite your mind, and gain actionable insights, subscribe at amberweitzer.com. We are honored, humbled, and full of joy that you've tuned in. Remember, you are exactly where you need to be, right here with us. This is the Amber Weitzer podcast, Silhouettes of Success.